All right, everyone. Hello. Good morning. It is Sunday, March 12th, and we're back here in Studio B with a revamped video format here. This is now covering basically everything in the Fed. This isn't just Black Bears hockey. So we're beginning with this. Um, if you are new to this site, you can find it. If you're looking for it in the future, you go to YouTube and you search for FPHL Flash, and that is that because this is going to be called the Fed League Flash, not because I am fast, but because we're going to talk about stuff in a nice, concise format, just a few minutes in each video. And what I want to do, I get a lot of my inspiration from the hockey guy, who many of you have seen, who covers the NHL. He just does these little videos covering everything with the NHL, and I just kind of want to do that somewhat with the Fed. So what I'm going to try and do as much as possible, I'm going to try to adhere to a pretty regular schedule, daily video, with the exception of Wednesdays, due to my work schedule. Uh, the videos on Wednesdays just don't work. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start the week off Friday. Friday is the start of our week because that's when games are played. So, we're going to do previews and maybe some predictions. On Saturdays, we'll do some recaps, cover any additional news. Sundays, also recaps. And then on Monday, we'll have any kind of news, transactions. We'll just have some fun stuff, maybe a little bit of speculation on, uh, yeah, just a topic like after this next season, where is the FPHL looking next? Where might they expand to? And yeah, just stuff like that. Tuesday, I'm going to do a team analysis. I'm going to break down one team and kind of look at how things have been going for them so far this season, maybe some of their strengths, some of the weaknesses, and how I think they might proceed going forward. Wednesday, again, we're just not going to do a video. Thursday, I'll put together something like uh, a history of the league, something. For this next Thursday's video, I'm working on one now that looks at the growth overall of the FPHL from its beginning to now and this upcoming off season. So, with that all said, we're going to jump right into our recaps. And I apologize, I have my notes here. And please excuse me, I am under the weather, not feeling the best. Yeah, pardon me as I plow through this. All right, for the games this weekend, we are recapping both Saturday and Sunday since I did not do a video yesterday. Okay, Elmira and Port Huron split couple of games. It was 7-2 Port Huron in the Friday night game, and then Saturday Elmira came back after being down 2-0 to win 5-2 to earn a split. And some of the high notes from this series: Joe Devaney potted 4 goals. The newcomer Zach Olin in his pro debut in 2 games, 1 goal and 4 assists, so not too shabby. Danik Rodriguez, who got traded from the Prowlers to the Mammoth earlier this year, he ended up going 71 out of 75 as far as save opportunities against his former team. And he took over for Harley White in the Friday night game and then played the entire game on Saturday. Not bad. 71 out of 75. That's pretty darn good save percentage. Elmira had 7 goals on 61 shots between the 2 games, and that was without Mo Levesque in the lineup. So, um, very opportunistic. Okay, Danbury and Watertown. Danbury ends up leaving Watertown with a sweep. They have now won 8 games in a row. They're the hottest team in the Fed right now. Friday night, they won 4-3 in a nail biter, and Saturday was a little bit more definitive, 6-2 in favor of the hat tricks. Johnny Ruiz and Dan McKittrick each had 3 goals over the 2 games. Tobias Bajic had 3 fights. Amesbury, none. As a matter of fact, Amesbury had 1 minor penalty. That's it. He said he was going to change his game when he came back from that lengthy suspension earlier this year, and so far, he has. Brian Wilson, still probably the best goaltender in the Fed right now. 79 saves out of 84 opportunities. He leads the league in wins with 24 and save percentage at 920, and he is second at 2.66 with goals against average. So everything's clicking on all cylinders right now for Danbury. They've created a lot of separation in the standings from Binghamton at this point. They look like they're probably going to end up being the number 1 seed in the Empire Division. Motor City and Columbus, Well, Motor City pulled off the surprise of the weekend by shutting down completely the River Dragons 5-0 on Friday. But then Columbus figured out a way to come back. Got a 5-2 win on Saturday to earn a split. And Trevor Babin, great game Friday night. 39 save shutout performance, followed by a not so great performance, only stopping 18 of 22 shots. So, yeah, Columbus got 5 goals on 23 shots. The one was an empty netter. So, Babin was not tagged with fault for that one. Brad Ryder was the only Motor City Rocker to have more than 2 points. He earned 3 assists. There was a lot of well distributed scoring for the Rockers in the weekend matchups. Going down to Carolina, where Binghamton undermanned and for about a game and a half overmatched. They lost the Friday night game 5-0 to Carolina and came back in the final 30 minutes of Saturday's game to at least make it respectable. It ended up being a 9-5 victory for the Thunderbirds on Saturday. Binghamton was down to 12 skaters due to injury and suspension. Carolina had 9 goals in a row until Binghamton got going, and then they played toe to toe. Gus Ford, 3 goals and 2 assists. He increases his overall points lead in the Fed to 95 points now. And Mario Cavalier got the shutout in game 1. Shots on goal for this weekend. Really a wild series. 87 shots on goal for Binghamton, 94 for Carolina. And the final series this weekend was the Delaware Thunder traveling down to Biloxi to take on the Mississippi Seawolves. And Mississippi ends up with a sweep, 7-6 on Friday. The game wasn't quite that close as Delaware got a couple of very late goals to draw close. Saturday, in a recap, it was 6-0 in favor of the Seawolves. So they earned 6 points. They're really clicking on all cylinders right now. They're the second hottest team in the league with a 5-game winning streak. They just found things too late, apparently. So Yaro Yevdokimov, my favorite name in the Fed, scores 2 hat tricks, and that's incredible, plus an assist. Anthony DeLazio, I hope I'm saying that right, earns a shutout Saturday night, 39 saves. So, yeah, back-to-back, 39 shots on goal. He stopped 33 on Friday and all 39 on Saturday. Mississippi now, yeah, like I said, they're on a 5-game winning streak. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. Um, and they're not a team to sleep on going into the home stretch here of the season. And it looks like yeah, they're going to hold off elimination as long as possible. I really don't see any way they can make the playoffs, which we'll look at the standings in just a second here. Okay, so here's the cheesy whiteboard, and this is notating games left. Most teams you see have either 11 or 12, although there's a couple of exceptions. And points right there. And the red checks here notate teams that already have a playoff seed clinched. That would be Columbus, Carolina, Danbury, and Binghamton. And as you can see, some rather tight races. Carolina only 1 point behind Columbus right now, and that is going to be the matchup to watch for the rest of the season. As you can see, 1 point separating the two teams, and the final 4 games for both clubs are head to head. So, yeah, that division will not be determined until that weekend. Motor City and Port Huron also very close, 72 and 70 in points. Port Huron has two more games played, however. Everyone else, magic number, that's to clinch a playoff berth. Motor City, their magic number is now 7, and Port Huron being 9. As I said, Mississippi, they're playing really well right now, but there's just no way they're going to be able to stave off elimination too awful long. And in the Empire Division, Danbury, that number 16 there in the magic number, that is to clinch the first seed. Binghamton's 6, the magic number, that is to clinch second place. Excuse me. All right, Watertown, they have the most games remaining of anybody at 13, and their magic number is down to a measly 5 now to clinch a playoff spot. Elmira is 10. Delaware, of course, got off to that really just horrendous start. And unfortunately, there was not enough time left for them to really have a shot at a playoff berth. So Elmira, 10 points to gain in their final 11 games, and they'll have a playoff spot clinched up themselves. And last thing to look at, just to wrap up this edition of the Fed League Flash. Some of the leaders in the league, Gus Ford, for a while, I thought he was going to be the only one that has a legitimate shot at reaching 100 points in the season. He has 95. However, Yevdokimov now has 79. So 21 points in 12 contests, especially at the rate he's going. That's very well possible. And Yanni Lariakos, Yevdokimov's teammate, he's close behind at 77 points. With goals, Yevdokimov by far leading the league with 45 tallies. Gus Ford has 38. And we have 3 players who have hit the 50 assist mark in the league, that being Gus Ford with 57, Lariakos with 55, and Carolina's John Batista, he has 51. So what I've noticed from last year to this year with the Fed is that there's less overall scoring, but scoring is more distributed. Teams seem to have 2 or 3 players that they can really count on to get points. So you're not going to have a John McDonald leading the league by 70 points like last year. All right. So anyway, that is the premiere edition of the Fed League Flash. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to continue doing this. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe if you already aren't subscribed to this channel. Feel free to share, and we hope to see you again tomorrow as we cover some news, and also we'll review the last game taking place today between Carolina and Motor City. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Gary Ryan. Have a great day.